Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Mahalia Joseph.
And I'm Vidya Rampal with your sports report.
Topping the news at this time, a birthday celebration turns deadly as 3 people were shot and killed and 3 others injured. The incident took place around 12:30 this morning as friends and family were celebrating the birthday of Daniel Spencer, one of those who were injured. Those killed have been identified as Elton Amora, Winston Edwards and Michael Brown. They are all said to be in their 20s. Those injured are Spencer, Malika Davis and 31-year-old Roland Earl. One of the men present at the event recalled what took place.
Good party right here. And all of a sudden, we back was turned to facing the roadside, we see Savannah, and like some people come from the back and I started to shoot. All of a sudden, I ride like many fellas and little, and because the fella the car is, he just bring a bottle of punch and say like, happy birthday for the fella. All we like right there, we started to drink, and we say some fellas started, you know, who should I shoot? They say, pack, 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 pack. From the back, the fellas walk up from the back there and started to shoot.
He ran and hid and said when he came back about 15 minutes after, he saw what was taking place. Member of Parliament for Couva North, Ramona Ramdial, is calling on the Ministers of National Security, Commissioner of Police and Chief of Defence to immediately act on shootings in Freeport, Central Trinidad, where 6 people were shot, leaving 3 dead. In addition to these shootings and murders, she said there is also an increase in robberies of businesses and homes and constituents are living in fear. Ms. Ramdial noted there is also a situation where there is a lack of adequate resources for the police to do their work. Just last month, she was made aware by the Couva Police that there are only 3 vehicles available for use at their station. She said a call was also made early last year for joint police-army patrols, to which Minister Dillon promised the establishment of an army base in Chaguanas as of December 2016. However, they are yet to get confirmation of this. As a country, she said, we cannot and must not continue like this, where citizens live in mortal fear daily. She says leaders, especially those entrusted with the responsibility for safety and security of the nation, must step up and act now. Trinidad and Tobago, she says, is fed up of the talk and the people deserve more. There was also a murder in Santa Cruz last night. It took place at Monroe Road, Lacano, about 11:30 p.m. The deceased was identified as Ian Sheldon Monroe. The 41-year-old lived at Monroe Road, Lacano, Lower Santa Cruz. He is known by the police for firearm offences. This killing takes the murder toll to 6 for 2017. According to the police, there were 462 recorded murders in 2016 as compared to 420 murders recorded in 2015. To some other news now, the Oil Fields Workers Trade Union has delivered a strike notice to state-owned Petrotrin. They proceeded to give the company the letter at about 10:30 this morning. This action comes as the union members claim they are not being treated fairly with the salary negotiations and is not willing to accept a 0% offer for the 2014-2017 bargaining period. Last week, the union leader Ansel Roger advised members of the public to fill up their gas tanks, saying if the workers do go on strike, there will be a shortage. It has been reported that the strike action will begin on Monday if the workers are not satisfied with the company's response. Meanwhile, Minister of Labour Jennifer Batiste Primus will meet with the representatives of both the Oil Field Workers Trade Union and the executive of Petrotrin on Thursday as a matter of priority. This was confirmed in a statement issued by the minister earlier today. The meeting will be held to discuss salary negotiations with the both parties. And industrial relations consultant Robert Giuseppe says Petrotrin is to blame for what is taking place right now. He said Petrotrin...
Because I cannot see. If I take the whole mechanics of the collective bargaining process, you are supposed to get your proposals, both possible exchange proposals, 6 months before the end of the contract. So if you go 6 months after the time we have here, it's almost what? 2-3 years now, okay, in terms of the present agreement.
He said Petrotrin is showing a blatant disrespect to the workers.
Some my people might think, you know, them union people, they're always ignorant, they always want to do this, they always want to strike. But I don't think any of us can work without a contract for nearly 4 years. Almost 4 years, I have no contract. and you are not giving me any indication that you are willing to at least put counter proposals. I have not seen in any or any of the media. I have not even seen you say, well, the government has offered 2% or 1%.
Industrial Relations lawyer Lennox Marcel says there is need to change the current collective bargaining system.
At the table bargaining may be an employer of the state sector and a trade union, but there's a hand outside. That third hand is the most important hand in the industrial relations in the state sector. So in other words, we need to reform collective bargaining, especially in the state sector and the public sector in Trinidad and Tobago.
According to the attorney, negotiators for state enterprises are simply messengers.
As a government, you know the state of the economy. You know what is possible in negotiations with any state enterprise. You either get inside in the bargaining, around the bargaining table, or you give clear instructions to the persons bargaining so that they can have effective bargaining with the trade union.
You're watching the C News Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at C News Live. The Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce is strongly condemning the industrial action initiated against Petrotrin by the Oilfield Workers Trade Union. It said considering the company's financial difficulties, the TNT Chamber is of the view that the key bargaining stakeholders ought to have centered their dialogue on the survival of the company as opposed to one side making untenable demands for wage increases. It said at the end of the fourth quarter of 2016, Petrotrin's closing figures registered a staggering drop in revenue of 3.2 billion TT dollars, part of a more than 50% decline over a 4-year period. The TNT Chamber deems it wholly irresponsible of the OWTU to take action designed to hold the country to ransom based on their trade union-led agitation for salary increases. Government officials will continue their 2-day retreat today at the Diplomatic Center in St. Anne's as it plans a way forward for the country in 2017. Following discussion on Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said most of his government's policy changes will take effect this year. He said their real first year in government starts now, and in that first year, the government will have to make what the Prime Minister called corrective decisions. He also cautioned that some of these changes will cause some pain and inconvenience, but the Prime Minister said these would be for the greater good. Now for a look at the weather forecast. Long, sunny and at times breezy spells expected for some with light to moderate showers in varying localities. Tonight, mostly clear and cool. Seas are normal with waves reaching up to 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 in sheltered areas. Nikki Lala, the 21-year-old Couva woman who went missing last Thursday, has been found. According to police, the woman was found unharmed. However, details of where she was found were not given. Lala was reported missing by her husband to the Grand Couva Police on Thursday, December 29th. Co-founder of Powerful Ladies of Trinidad and Tobago, Gillian Wall, says verbal sexual harassment against women happens quite frequently and is often misconstrued as compliments. Ms. Wall was speaking on Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago when she made the statement.
That's what we are subject to as women on a daily basis in Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of verbal sexual harassment that everyone thinks it's okay. And you mentioned that the woman may feel afraid to say something uncomfortable. And it's also because women have been nurtured to be a little bit more polite, a little bit more courteous. Men could be aggressive because that's macho. When a woman does it, she's labeled all sorts of things that are not pleasant, right? And not just by men in her environment, also by other women.
An assurance today that all is being done to ensure the Canopia Secondary School is ready to be reported for the new school term. On October 22, 2016, a fire was started on the ground floor of Building J, which houses the administration and staff office. Since then, the school has not been able to be used by the students and teachers. CNews spoke with the local government councillor for the area, who gave us an update ahead of the opening of the new school term next week.
It has only become of great concern because the parents, they are contacting me. They want to know what's happening because I'm not sure how the feedback is going in terms of that. So they are very concerned because students are actually home, lack of supervision and so on persons when parents head to work. So I'm trying my best to see what happens. I contacted what can happen. I contacted a minister in the ministry, Minister Francis, and as far as he knows that the contractors are supposed to be there doing work, but he has to give me a follow-up, so I'm awaiting that.
Member of Parliament for Sano and Barataria, Dr. Fuad Khan, is calling for more traffic patrols on the nation's roadways. In a release, Dr. Khan commended the members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for their heightened presence on the roads of the capital city at the start of the new year, but noted more patrols are needed in other areas. He said such issues such as parking illegally along the roadway, as well as other infractions, contribute to the extensive traffic pileups, which a police presence can help alleviate. He said while some may consider this action as being more disruptive and hampering to the normal flow of traffic, it is clear that these police checkpoints are not only necessary in apprehending these errant drivers, but also it will ensure that we all drive at a speed that limits the number of vehicular accidents. Trinidad and Tobago is being hailed as a place to visit in 2017 by two prominent American magazines. Vogue magazine has placed Trinidad and Tobago as number 6 on its list of the 10 hottest travel destinations for 2017. In the piece for their online magazine, Vogue advises its readers to avoid the rush to Cuba and head to Trinidad and Tobago instead. The piece is also an ad for travel agent Catalina Mayorga vacation package to Trinidad and Tobago via her El Camino travel agency, but it also says she was blown away by the country's food and forests when she visited here in 2017. As for Essence, they encourage readers to plan by the month as part of the 12 trips every woman should take in 2017. And with Carnival on the 27th and 28th of February, they say this is the best time to visit. Hashtag We Live Where You Vacation. And Vidya is here with sport. Vidya, tell me, do we have a chance to qualify for the Gold Cup now?
Yeah, we
Explain
certainly do, but it's going to be a tough road to get past Suriname and Haiti and then past the Central American competitors. More details on that coming up. We start our sports with news of football. Trinidad and Tobago face Suriname this evening in the opening game of the CFU Gold Cup playoff at the Atto Bolden Stadium. Haiti is the other team in the round-robin playoff, and only one team will move forward in the competition. The match will be the first competitive fixture for Trinidad and Tobago under Tom St. Feet. The Belgian, who took over from Stephen Hart last month, said none of the opposition teams can be underestimated.
I think we have a decent squad, a balanced team, so both in midfield, defense, attacking force. I hope if we can play the same way the second game we played against Nicaragua, we must be able to beat Suriname and Haiti. But again, we may not underestimate both of them.
St. Feet's preparation for the tournament has been overshadowed by indiscipline on the part of several players. 3 players originally named in the 20-man squad were dropped and replaced. Jobin Jones did not show up for training, while Daniel Cyrus and Joel Williams arrived late to a team camp.
So we need all forces and we need all focus on these matches. We can't underestimate these opponents. And if you as a player don't have the personal discipline to focus on these games, yeah, then I think you are not committed and not ready to play these games.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago's opponent Suriname will meet the other team in the mix, Haiti, on Friday at Couva. That is before Trinidad and Tobago play Haiti on Sunday. TNT have beaten Haiti 14 times but have suffered 13 defeats against them. Les Grenadiers, as the Haitian team is called, beat the Warriors last January in a playoff match for the Copa America Centenario. The Haitians have won 3 of the last 5 meetings between the teams. Haiti is also unbeaten against Trinidad and Tobago since 2010. They mean business. They arrived early for this tournament and played several practice matches, including against W Connections under-23 team and the Defence Force Pro League team. Jockey Brian Budram Singh won a hat-trick of races on Monday at Santa Rosa Park in Arima. The former champion jockey took John O'Brien's King Ronan to winner's row in the Stud Farm Association Sprint.
Followed by King Ronan, who's looking good toward the inside route of Jesse 2. And behind horses, these top 5 get away from Royal Empire, Uncle Norman on the far outside. Amritsar races next, and against the odds, Red River toward the inside. Here they come, Eagle Landing showing the way here. Eagle Landing getting away. King Ronan coming back on the outside in second. Here it comes, King Ronan to Eagle Landing. King Ronan now swoops on by. King Ronan to the winner's circle. King Ronan and Brian Budram Singh, here's another for him. Eagle Landing finished up in second from Root of Jesse. Finishing up in fourth then was Electrify, who was coming on well.
Well, that's what's happening in the world of sport. Looking forward to the build-up to the Soca Warriors game and the results of that Chelsea match later on.
And that's the C News Live report at noon. I'm Mahalia Joseph.
And I'm Video Rampal.
Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, visit the C News website at ctvtt.com. Do have a good afternoon.